Oh, behind me.
Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Nice
Good job,
pincer
buddy.
attack right there.
I bet they're playing with sound on and like not streaming to a laptop from their Xbox downstairs.
Yeah, yeah.
We're so
You did
good.
better than me to get your kill.
Getting worked up. I shouldn't get worked up.
Yeah, no, you should turn off all of your caring right now, sir. Because you shouldn't. Because it's just no. Why bother? Oh, behind us.
As
You're
usual.
so fast with your sliding Fellwinters.
Hey, I got one.
Good job.
Point blank range with a yote.
I got one.
That one too.
It's 1v1. 1v1 me, bro. Go get him.
Is Respawn gonna do it? Is Respawn gonna do it? Oh, he's up on the run. He throws a grenade out. He's moving to the tunnel. Is it a good shot? Oh,
Tied.
Good job.
But who gets the win? Probably they do.
No one.
I can just color commentate when it's 1v1ing because there's no extra pressure, right?
Pressure's on Respawn at the moment to carry the team as he runs through the middle area, round by Heavy. He's going to where C is. We're following. Nothing's happening apart from the other team are there. I fired, hit the ceiling. They're coming behind us. There's a flame on the floor. Nothing's happened. I've died, and Respawn's down. End of match.
Hi guys, and welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast, a show where we discuss tips, tricks, and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing the game even more. What makes us different? Well, for starters, we're not streamers or YouTubers. We just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 info, news, and opinions. We do encourage your questions and feedback. You can contact us either by email at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com or on Twitter at twotitans_hunter, and that's the number 2. Now, on with the show.
Ooh, I think we got an extra % there for round tying, so that was good. Well done, Respawn. You've done an extra %. So if we can get 11% each time, it's still going to take us 10 times.
That was good math.
Hey, I have totally completed a Crucible match in a playlist, so I'm halfway through that bounty. I don't know what you guys.
So welcome to the show, guys. We are in the middle of Trials of the Pain at the moment, trying to get 3,000 losses to get a free engram for messengers.
A little bit.
Yes, so we can go with the terrible roll I got last night and hope for a better roll today.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And talking about
we are
rolls.
not optimistic.
Talking about rolls, whenever I was watching Fallout, and the second he says it now takes hunters 3 abilities to free somebody, my heart broke. I'm like,
sir,
that
those hunters
made
are
me
doing.
want to uninstall Destiny right when he said that, because
sir,
he didn't say that for any other subclass. No, with hunters, because they nerfed everything hunter related so bad, hunters now have to use 3 separate abilities to free somebody in PvP. It's ridiculous.
I don't know who was freezing me last night in Trials and Iron Banner, but it was working very effectively.
Yeah, it's worked very effectively for me in Iron Banner when I've been frozen. So
I have noticed no difference, because you get frozen and you're still upset that you're frozen, or you're slowed and you can't do anything, or
by everybody else. But hunters don't have that ability anymore.
It doesn't really matter. The moment you're slowed, you're dead. It doesn't matter if you're frozen or not.
So the angry hunter in the corner, upset about his nerf, is Hunter Master Rager Respawn.
Wow.
Peroty is the sane one, trying to talk him into the fact that these things don't matter. And I am your British host, who also doesn't care. Night Demon.
And now we're going to get murdered by Hankins and Fellwinter's Lie.
And we're going to try and read things at the same time. So next week in Destiny, you can enjoy double the Nightfall audio rewards all week long. They haven't stated that it's going to be the double rewards for the weekend. Sometimes it's double rewards at the weekend as well. But they haven't actually said anything about that.
I got somebody.
And I can see it.
Good job.
I'm trying to read something. Hang on. The new Proving Ground strike will be this week's Nightfall ordeal. So we said that last week. And Showdown comes to the Crucible. Peroty. What is Showdown?
You
You were
guys,
going to ask me,
ruined it.
and now I have to go find that document where I have the cheat sheet of what all these stupid things are called.
Yes, you
Because
do.
you were all like, "Let's play Trials" instead of recording the show or paying attention to
Right?
anything.
I
No.
told him after last week. This is gonna be a bad
You
idea.
sir don't get to write anybody. You prepare nothing ever. So I don't you no. Mm-mm.
What are you talking about? I have opinions. I was telling him. I told him I listened to it last week, and us all playing the game at the same time was a train wreck.
Well,
You know?
yeah. Versus just you playing the game at the same time and is always a train wreck.
Yeah, but you guys
What
carried
else
the
is new?
slack. I'm just here because I'm pretty.
Yeah.
I've seen your hunter. It's okay.
I am pretty, not my hunter. She's beautiful.
So you said it was Showdown this coming week?
Yes, please, Peroty. Would you tell us what Showdown is?
Hey, we at least got to read a whole passage between.
Yeah, I mean,
games.
Showdown is 2 teams of 4 vie for dominance by seeing which team can score the most kills in a timed round. Try to be the first team to win your best of 3 because if you're tied going into the final round, it's sudden death and you get 1 life to prove who is best.
And don't forget that Showdown is one of the seasonal challenges that are available for this season.
Yeah, which is just go play the games, not do well, not win, not care, just go play.
So speaking of seasonal challenges, I have next week's seasonal challenges. Thank you to Gaming Animal on YouTube, who has posted next week 8's 6 challenges. So you have Nightfall Proving Grounds, defeat combatants using linear fusion rifles or sidearms in the Nightfall Ordeal version of the Proving Grounds strike. And I believe it says it's either 50 sidearms or linear fusion rifle kills and complete 3 Nightfall strikes. Legendary Lost Sector variant attack. Defeat combatants in legendary lost sectors using sniper rifles, submachine guns, rocket launchers, or bows. And 300 combatant kills for that one. Then we have Lenses in Focus. Go to the Prismatic Recaster and discover how to unlock more lenses. Clearing the Inner Circle. Defeat primeval envoys in Gambit, and that's 40 of those. Oh, sorry, it was 10 lenses unlocked. Trials by Firing Squad. Now, we said this last week, didn't we? Didn't we call this last week about you've got to go into Trials? And listen, it's not just go into Trials. Win 7 rounds in Trials of Osiris. This one
That's
is a bit
not a thing
unfair.
anyone's going to be able to do.
Yeah, this is a bit unfair trying to make people go into Trials.
Yeah, it's go unlock a seasonal or weekly bounty thing that you don't really care about or need.
Yeah. And when we were talking about the season pass last week, we said, at least there isn't one for Trials. But unfortunately, we knew this was going to come up. We knew it had to be put in there.
Yeah, you know they throw something in there. Hopefully it'll be put the Igneous Hammer back in the 3-win pool again. It'll be something stupid.
Mm. And the last one is Decisive Strikes. Acquire the ornament for the Salvager's Salvo grenade launcher in Strikes, basically. So that's the third one. So you have to get all 3 this season to get 3 different challenges. So yeah, it looks like these seasonal challenges they have changed them, which we will go over in this week at Bungie. But again, it doesn't seem fair to force people into. I mean, but then
into something where you're at least I'll say guaranteed to get the 3-win. And I feel like it's a drum worth beating on that at least you can go in and get whatever the 3-win reward is just by picking up the bounty and just by playing again about an hour and a half. If you lose every game, play every game, lose them all, don't win a single thing, it's about an hour and a half. If you jump off the map, it's quicker, but at least you're getting something out of it. There's you're going to receive a reward from it, whatever the 3-win reward for the week is. That at least you're guaranteed to get. Is that a reason to go in? Absolutely not. Is there a reason to go in thinking you will have any level of success in Trials? No. Just don't waste your time. Don't bother. Don't even do it. If you're looking to go in with a couple of friends to have a laugh, do that, because that's the only way to have success or victory or a good time in Trials. Because it is not a game mode you should go in expecting anything out of at all.
No, I think with the seasonal challenges, it was a bit unfair to make people go in and do the Grandmaster ordeals without giving them an alternative. Now, I can understand like they do with the engrams that we can earn, whereas if you do the lowest form, you have to do like 3 or 4 of the Nightfalls to earn that. Whereas if you then rank up and either do like the hero or the legendary versions, you can clear that engram quicker. So maybe it should have been like that with the seasonal challenge for the Nightfall Ordeal. You have to go and play a Nightfall Ordeal, but say if you did the lowest tier one, you had to do like 10 versions of it. Or if you did the next one up, you had to do 5 versions of it so that it kind of counts. And maybe the same with this Trials one. Maybe the Trials one should be you either win 7 rounds or you can play like we are this week and just get the engram. So as long as you kind of get that free engram and complete that bounty, it kind of counts. So it's not forcing people to kind of, and I know you don't have to do it literally next week. You can do it the week after. So, or the week after that, just whenever the season is.
Yeah, you have to do it sometime before the season ends, which although is in how many weeks now? Because aren't we a little over halfway through the season?
Well, technically, I think we should have another 4 weeks, shouldn't we?
So we have exactly 45 days, 3 hours.
Okay.
I thought it told you on the season pass how many days. Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It does. That's what I just read it from.
Yeah. Well, you have to tell these people if you go onto your season pass.
No, I don't.
At the top there, where it says season 13, season of
do
the
not have to
chosen.
tell these people anything.
Season ends in 45 days and 3 hours for us as recording this podcast. But then that begs the question that Gator posed to us back about 4 weeks ago.
Which was?
What do we think? Yeah.
You can remember 4 weeks ago?
Yeah. What do we think that they're going to do to extend the season, seeing as the Witch Queen has been pushed back till possibly January, February time? What were they going to do in that last season? Seeing as this season is sticking to the end of like the 3-month cycle, are the next couple of seasons going to be elongated or are they going to be shorter? Well, and then we're just going to have a void in between?
Well, yes. Didn't they say they were going to give us an extra something, an extra season, an extra activity, an extra?
That's an extra DLC. So we're going Witch Queen.
Okay, that's right.
Loss of Light or whatever it's called. I can't remember now.
Well, they'll just push the season out. One of the seasons, maybe they'll send both of them instead of making one super long season, split the difference and extend both seasons that many days or weeks or whatever.
Yeah, possibly. And until we kind of find out, we're not really gonna. Until they actually say something, we're not actually going to find out. So.
Nope. They're going to make it up because points don't matter.
Points and prizes do not matter at this point.
Do not.
All that matters is getting a messenger. So I know Respawn loves how much we read all the patch notes. So the patch, 3.111 did come out this past week, and there were a couple things that I didn't see in the notes from before, such as they fixed an issue where the players would instantly die if they stood in a particular spot of the Quitter's Well in the Tangled Shore. They fixed an issue where players could regenerate infinite super energy from teammates running through hallways. Fixed the issue where the prismatic recaster was not showing all of its engrams on a single page, and you had to scroll pages, so there was a bug, and they did fix it. They fixed an issue where Guardians could embrace their darker side and damage their teammates using the Frenzy perk. They added the Unrelenting perk to the Swarm machine gun. They significantly reduced the completion values for all Crucible Fragment quests, fixing an issue where players could earn exotic ciphers with a full inventory, resulting in the loss of their reward. They reset the raid completions tracker for people who had exactly 5-minute times on their stat trackers, and they replaced the Bounded Memory Triumph with the All the Scattered Memories to ensure players who missed a week playing the Presage activity could still earn the seal before the season ended. So there was a bunch more in that patch, and Bungie has a full patch notes on their 3.1.1.1.
Night Demon's just kind of hanging out. There you go, yeah. Pop another shield. Yeah.
So starting March 24th. So in the past, as we read this, the Prime Gaming bundle is up. So if you want a Huckleberry and you want to make your Huckleberry look good, and then a ship and a ghost, those are there. So go to the Prime link your Bungie to your Amazon Prime, and you get a new gaming bundle. And those can sit with Amanda Holiday, never to be picked up. But they're there, just in case you need them.
Oh my god, look at that. 10 kills from Respawn? Excuse me? Hold on. Let me screenshot this.
Really? Let's reset that passage and do some reading.
You do need to put an asterisk on there that you were playing with 2 people streaming their Xboxes to laptops in different rooms of their houses.
Yes.
I mean, not to say it would have gone differently otherwise, but I definitely would have hit some of those shots.
See, you guys are both self-conscious because I never said anything about carrying y'all. I was just happy that I got 10 kills.
Well, I mean, this week at Bungie, for the 25th of March 2021, it's Diplomacy or Death. And clearly, we have all selected death.
Oh yeah.
Zavala issued a challenge to Keitel. We've issued a challenge to Osiris, trying to play his trials. There's a whole new strike out. There's a little trailer they released for the strike. I watched this trailer. I have not played the strike. Have you guys played the new Proving Ground strike?
I have
And-
indeed. I have played it about 4 times because there is a triumph that is tied to. There are 10. I can't remember what they're called. Let me just double check what it's called. If this streaming device can go faster than I can think.
Streaming device. It was
Come on.
such a bad idea to stream to a laptop.
So, under activities of the Season of the Chosen Battlegrounds, there is a eliminate Keitel's Cabal. This are eliminate all VIPs in the Proving Ground strike, and these randomly spawn in the strike. They can be the same ones over and over again, which I found. There is a list of about 10 of them that you have to kill to get this triumph unlocked, and it's worth 10 score. So there is that in there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them, and I've played it 4 times. So yeah, you're not guaranteed, and they can kind of turn up at any point during the strike. So they can be. There's a big hangar battle that happens that there are a couple of them in, which is quite cool. So it's going to be interesting to see what this is going to be like for the Nightfall Ordeal next week, where the champions are going to spawn. So yeah, the end battle was pretty cool as well. But yeah, I found it's really interesting, and I like the whole strike really. It's just kind of a nice change to have something new in the game that's going to be around for quite a while. But then, yeah, that's going to be a point, isn't it? Is this strike only going to be available for like the next 6 months, or is it going to be something that's going to stay in Destiny, or does it go? Is Nessus disappearing? Do we think at some point? Is that
Yes,
kind
and
of?
I was sort of curious about because they're like, oh, new strike, and it didn't really occur to me that it could just be new strike in the game. I just always assumed it was, oh, there's a new strike that we're giving you, for this season or season extended, and we're taking away at some point. But yeah, I wouldn't mind another strike on the playlist. I dread playing those things anyway because it's the same couple of strikes you've played for the last 4 years.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Moving into this whole new direction of stuff going into the content vault, and then stuff coming back out of the content vault from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. There's no real set idea of what's going and what's staying. And I've seen that somebody from Bungie did confirm that at some point Forsaken will be moving into the Destiny content vault. So that means Dreaming City, the Tangled Shore, Strikes, I guess, and missions that are all tied to those areas will also be going into the Destiny content vault. And much like we had when we had the previous stuff going to the content vault, and there's a lot of things like we thought like the 0 hour mission that wouldn't disappear because it wasn't tied to anything specific, but obviously it was tied to something that Bungie had put in the system that needed to be vaulted, so we couldn't have that going forward. So going forward, I think there's going to be things that we think that are going to be sticking around that end up being vaulted, but then that does give us some good stuff that's coming back into the game, like the Vault of Glass next season.
Getting people's hopes up, going next week. What? Where? Who?
What?
Oh, sorry,
What?
no, that's me. That's me next week.
Yeah.
I get to play it next week. You guys don't.
You could open up Destiny 1 and play the Vault of Glass next week if you wanted to, but it's not quite the same Vault of Glass.
I could play it today if I wanted to.
Actually, I mean, considering how they're going to be doing things now, I know my PC group is probably going to want to try the world's first again. But guys, I don't remember Vault of Glass nearly well enough to complete all these triumphs. So I'm like, Fuzz, if you're going to want to do this, you need to look up on all these triumphs on what to do and how to do it so that we can, do the Vault of Glass effectively. Because I do not remember the raid well enough to remember, oh yeah, here's where all the things spawn, or here's, the order that which you got to shoot the oracles and yada, yada, yada. I'm just like...
Yeah, there were definitely parts at like the end of D1 that we went back and asked because somebody had either never completed it or just wanted to do it for Triumph Bounty something. And it was like, oh, I vaguely remember these, but I surely don't remember like, the muscle memory that required to do this competently.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, I wonder how many YouTubers are going in right now and redoing all of the Vault of Glass like encounters so that they memorize everything and this and that and the others.
Yeah, or at least remember the general mechanics, and then see. Okay, I'm going to change these.
Yeah.
What are you taking away? What are you adding? How many champions will there be?
All of the champions. Somebody,
Just no ads, just champions. Champions all the way down.
right?
Yeah. So the week kicked off with not only a new Proving Ground strike, but the round of stasis tuning for the Crucible. Well, I haven't actually really tested it out. I've kind of just stuck with the builds that I found over the last couple of weeks. But Fallout Plays, as Respawn has noted, has done a video on the stasis fixed, as he puts it, and goes over the damage numbers and what's
Yeah.
actually changed and how many times you can freeze
Considering
people.
how he's a freaking not hunter main, yeah, of course he's happy about it.
Do you have any idea what he plays?
I'm pretty sure he's a Titan. Most of the time I see him, he's a Titan, but I also see him on Warlock a lot in PvP. So I don't know what he actually mains. It's not hunter.
Fair enough.
You just like throwing out accusations. As long as
Mhm.
you know that he's not a hunter, that's it. That's all that's upsetting.
Well,
There's
look, if he was a hunter, he wouldn't be happy about these changes. He wouldn't have said fixed, right? The title card alone says he's not a hunter main.
Well, I mean, he's reporting what Bungie did
Uh-huh.
because they quote fixed it, so they put a fix out. So yeah,
Yeah, he's just questioning whether it has been fixed.
because his shtick isn't to get mad at everything all the time.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
And there was something that I think it was AZ Plays in the chat in our Discord pointed out that the stasis abilities are twice as slow at recharging as some of the light based ones. Is that right?
Yeah. Not twice as long. He didn't say twice, but they do have longer cooldowns. Stasis.
Yeah, they have longer cooldowns.
And so they actually do.
Yeah, they actually do.
Okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense since you can freeze people. So, you know,
Yeah.
freeze slow doesn't really matter. The effect
Hmm.
is the same in a PvP match.
Indeed, it is.
But then saying that, Cool Guy put out a video this week that focusing lens on the artifact also works in PvP. Now, if you don't know what this is, I will quickly run over it. It's on your artifact. It's on the final track of the artifact,
What's an artifact?
and it's the Bell of Conquest is this month's artifact, or this season's artifact. So
Why
it's
do we
on the
have
final track. It's worth 3 energy. And this gives you the ability of your light abilities do bonus damage to combatants affected by stasis. And it actually works in PvP. And as I said, Cool Guy put out a video this week. And you can put it on your, I believe it's your class item, yeah. So I've got it on my class item. Because there are still a lot of people running around in Crucible, throwing their shurikens and still using stasis. And I've been using a lot of light-based subclasses. So it's been helping me get, a few extra kills here and there. So I just thought I'd kind of point people in the direction of that video while we're here.
Huh.
It's only 3 energy. Just chuck it on that class item. You don't need anything else. Just that.
Yeah.
Also, the Warlocks have had their Mantle of Battle Harmony change this week.
You can't prove that.
So it actually works in PvP. So this is the chess piece that was one of the new exotics that when you get an elemental kill, it gives you, charges your super up faster. And when you've got your super charged, when you get an elemental kill, it gives you extra damage on your next kill. I think if it's a precision kill, something like that. I haven't actually got it on my character at the moment, but I can quickly check because we can do that. We are top notch streamers, YouTubers.
We're not streamers. When did that change?
Well, you technically streamed something.
When you started streaming every week.
Apart from this week.
That doesn't count.
So yeah, takedowns with weapons that have a damage type matching your subclass element grant you super energy. Whilst your super energy is full, you instead gain a temporary bonus to your weapon damage of the type matching your subclass element. So there you go. That is the Mantle of Battle Harmony.
Done.
Again, maybe worth kind of doing those legendary lost sectors to try and get one of those when it comes to the chess piece day. And as I said in the show notes, I will link the calendar for that, provided by somebody that Fallout Plays pointed out. It's in our show notes for that, if you are interested.
He said a name. We can't be bothered to remember the name.
No, I think no, but you know what it's like. Somebody on Reddit creates a calendar or a,
Oh yeah.
a spreadsheet, everybody ends up using it.
Are y'all
Mhm.
actually on the 12 right now?
We are actually on the 12 right now. That's
Is
where
that
we're
a
reading from.
reading?
Also, on the top of the 12, they just want to point out they've done some balance changing to the lobbies for Iron Banner. This was also then followed up on Twitter by DMG04. The team has just shipped some server-side lobby balancing changes to Iron Banner and Iron Banner Freelance. Things are looking stable. If you encounter any oddities, please report them to Help Forum. We will have the full details in the TWAB, hoping to have that out soon. So we can go kind of over that, can't we?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because they push it out like midweek again. Not like when it started, but they're like, we're gonna push a change middle of the week. See how the first half Iron Banner went. See how the second half went.
Yeah.
In June of 2020, we made some changes to remove skill-based matchmaking from all playlists except survival. Since the change, we've been monitoring player feedback, watching data, and getting some hands-on in the Crucible to see how games felt with connection-based matchmaking prioritized. A common feedback item has concerned lobby balancing, and now we distribute players among fire teams with a Crucible match. Distribute, sorry. Now we distribute players among fire teams within a Crucible match. Cool. Starting today, we'll be testing out some changes to how players split between teams once a match has been formed in Iron Banner and Iron Banner Freelance playlists. These are changes expected to be deployed around 10 a.m. Pacific so that by the time you read in the tribe, they may already be in place. To give a simple explanation of the change, our current algorithm tries to make an average skill level even between the teams, which can lead lopsided teams depending on the skill range everyone put in the match. With the changes being deployed today, we're updating our Crucible Lobby Balancer to balance teams with a modified algorithm, which can be compared to Schoolyard Pick or Snake Draft. Anybody ever hear of Snake Draft before this?
Yes.
No, I thought it was an American thing.
I've never heard of it. Schoolyard Pick, yeah, but Snake Draft, I don't know. This will attempt to place the best player on Team 1, second on Team 2, third on Team 2, fourth on Team 1, and so on. So before I continue reading, what is Snake Draft? What he just said?
The same thing as Schoolyard Pick. Basically, yeah, just saying, first player on this team, second best player on that team, third best player on player with one's team. Just like going like top to bottom, most skill to least skill, and like putting them on different teams, trying to even them out.
Gotcha. As a note, we are making no changes to matchmaking. This is specifically to change how players are divided among teams once a match has been formed. We will be watching feedback over the weekend to see how players are feeling about the change in Iron Banner, and we have plans to expand more playlists once the changes are verified to have positive effects. Well, that being the case, I played, I don't know, 10 matches this week. I haven't played a lot.
So did you play before Thursday or after Thursday? Because that's the other question. So this patch went live sometime Thursday after.
It was Friday. Friday's the only day I've played Destiny this week.
Okay.
I'm sorry, no, it was Thursday. Thursday afternoon. Yeah, Thursday afternoon. Yeah, after I got off work.
Before the patch, then.
No, should have been after.
Go on. Yes, go on then. Go recount with your abilities. Regale us with your tale.
Robot.
As we thought.
All I hear is a robot from Respawn.
So what I'm getting from this Respawn is that you did poorly and it didn't work.
No, we didn't do poorly. I did well, right? But my team got mercy times in a row, and then we'd mercied a team, and then after we mercied a team, it broke it up so that we can't go against that team again. But I did notice 2 matches in a row, we went against one team. They mercied us. It put us against that same team. They mercied us again. And then they put us against another team, but it had some of the same characters as the first 2 teams. And we got mercied the third time. And then after that, the next team we got was completely different. We mercied them, and then they broke up the matchmaking teams or whatever. So that was my experience. It was still a whole lot of mercies going back and forth.
Working as intended. I feel like that was my experience last time too. It's like, oh, get mercied? No, that's fine. You mercy them, we're gonna break those teams up.
Probably. But yeah, that's it for lobby balancing.
Well, my experience this week, and I've played a hell of a lot of Banner because
You have Banner? No.
I've been trying to do like catch up on our YouTube videos to go along with the podcast. So for episode 100 to episode 109, it's
Flawless
just
emblems. Love it.
it's just a place card with our emblem on it, and then just the podcast. But then for 110 going forward, I'm trying to put some footage to it so that you've actually got something to watch. So yeah, I've done a lot of Iron Banner this week and really enjoyed playing it in even the first half and the second half of the week. But I did find that the changes they are noticeable at this end of the week, playing in the solo playlist. That it is that kind of pick of one good player on one team, the other good player on the other team, and I've been doing really well with how I've actually been faring. So it's not just been completely being destroyed. It does seem like it's a very balanced match, and then when it tries to mix people up, like maybe the bottom couple get kind of shifted from one side to the other, and the map changes, it does have an effect on how people play, because some maps you can play really well on and with some weapons, and some weapons you can't really play that well on. So yeah, it just depends. I can say that I definitely do like the changes for the solo playlist. For the main Iron Banner playlist, I played with Nolus last night, and we got kind of mercied by a team that kind of just steamrolled. And there was only two of us, but we had to go into the normal playlist, and they
Mhm.
were, I think, a team of three, but it looked like they were kind of Trials sweaty Igneous Hammer players that just kind of dominated, just steamrolled the whole team, and we got mercied within like 2 minutes. So yeah, it was. There's only so much that they can do with this balancing, and if you get the Trials team going in there after their win, or they've gone in there to kind of practice for Trials, then you're just not really going to stand a chance. And the same as if you've got six players, it's just not gonna work, is it?
Yeah, like it almost seems like it's almost not worth, if you're with like one friend, it's almost like not worth going into Iron Banner because you have to get into the big list. You can't do solo. It's like, okay, two of us can go in. Yeah, we can go in and have a laugh, but it's like if we're going in to play well, like I played, sort of like the first, I don't know, 10 or so matches, something like that last night. The first 4 or 5 in regular Iron Banner, then the last 4 or 5 in freelance, just to see sort of how the split was. And it was just bad. It's like every single match was like, a team of 5 and a team of 5, and then me and one other random would get split up between them, and then the freelance was at least a little more palatable. So it's like, yeah, it's like if there's two of you, it almost disincentivizes you to play with your friend if you don't have a big group or you aren't very good or whatever, because it's like you're going into the giant pool of everyone's going to murder you.
Yeah. So Prime Gaming rewards, guys.
Yes, Parody's all over the Prime Gaming rewards.
But I can now tell you it's the Sanctified Vigilance Ghost Shell and the Bicameral Promise legendary ship to go with your ornament and your Huckleberry.
Right.
And you may just want to pick up a Huckleberry if you are a Titan, because it is doing quite well with the Peacemakers, which are the exotic boots for the Titan, that ready your submachine faster and give you a better accuracy to start off with. And I can't remember who put the build together, but it was one of the videos. I think it might have been Astacross over the last couple of weeks, and I've tried it, and it was really good fun to play around with. So yeah,
Nice.
free exotic. So if you've got Prime Game, you might as well sign up for it.
Yeah, and the SMG's got a huge just stability boost this season. Like that multi-mac SMG from Iron Banner is just, it's a laser beam. And a bunch of the other ones
the Huckleberry, the Huckleberry, even without the balance changes or whatever for the submachine guns, Huckleberry's always been a really good submachine gun, dude. I mean, maybe not for PvP, but 100% for PvE. That thing will chew through entire armies before you have to reload. It's such a good gun.
That's if you have the catalyst. If you have the catalyst, what the catalyst does on the Huckleberry is it automatically reloads the full magazine once you get a kill. So in PvE, it's really good, and in PvP, because you may just get them on that last bullet, but then you get the full magazine back. But you have to have the catalyst on it for that to happen. If you don't have the catalyst, it only reloads part of the magazine. But even that is still quite worth kind of picking up.
You're probably going to yell at me because it should be something that I know.
I never yell at you.
But
But
I haven't gotten in a single Trials token since we started playing.
we don't get trials tokens unless we win.
Yeah, or
Oh.
turn bounties.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
you have to win the 3 to turn in the tokens, because if we don't win the 3, we
They
can't turn in tokens.
Yeah, I got you.
Right. Yeah, I've got
You can get
like
the engram from just playing.
I've got like 25 on my Titan that I can't do anything with because we didn't win 3 games, and we'll never win 3 games.
Oh, you turned in the bounties? No, never turn in the bounties until you get the 3 wins, Peroty.
You act like that's gonna happen. Like that's a thing I'm gonna eventually get to a point where
Why
that's
not?
what I can do.
They
There
disappear at the
eventually
end of
will
the
be
week.
somebody that you can. No, they. Well, yeah. No, the bounties don't.
Yeah.
No.
No, the tokens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you
Yeah, I know that's what I'm
have the bounties completed, don't turn them in until you get 3 wins. Right. That way, if you play Trials, week
Okay.
after week,
I will
you
I will
have.
keep bounties on my warlock forever for the day that comes when otherwise, I'm not gonna take all my bounty slots with trials unclaimed trials token unclaimed trials bounties that I'm never gonna be able to.
Look, man. Look, you just need to find the right group of people. LFG say, look, I just need 3 wins.
So, Peroty, there's been panic at the proving ground.
No, there hasn't.
There has been
There
panic at the
has.
proving grounds.
Uh-uh.
Although I don't know why we're panicking, because the player's guardian games ghost shells, which were being replaced by other ghost shells and would disappear when equipped. They've turned those off because you don't need to have those. But don't worry now, those shells have been re-enabled. We will provide a fix for players who had their upgraded shells dismantled in a future update. So don't dismantle things, or if you get things dismantled, they'll give them back to you. And we're getting a new patch on April 1st, or are we? Maintenance windows, patches, yada yada, same deal as always. So they're going to fix the terminal night. Yeah, they're going to fix the inside terminus nightfall triumph, which will now be correctly rewarded when the score requirement is reached. Oh, one for me. The Lost Sector puzzles for the Xenophage quest will now work as intended. So if you're trying to get your Xenophage quest and trying to put in the puzzles after the Lost Sectors, those should actually work again, as opposed to you entering them correctly 4 or 5 times and then going, I don't know you. You get nothing. And if you're trying to play on Distant Shore in the Crucible and get some heavy ammo, it will no longer spawn underneath the map.
Yay!
It's fun. Enhancement cores that are sent to the Postmaster will appear in the Postmaster's inventory as exotic engrams with 0 power. Collecting the engrams will only award you the single enhancement core as it's supposed to. Players should also be aware that they are not missing out on any rewards. It's not a bugged engram. It's how they're choosing to show the thing that's sitting in the Postmaster for you. And of course, we wouldn't fix things if we didn't break things. The Adept Mag mod does not grant bonus reserves on Sola's Scar, which is the sword, I believe.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
never mind. We
Yeah.
won't be seeing that anytime soon.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. And again, it's an Adept mod, so again, never a thing I'm going to see. An inaccurate quest node will appear for the Proving Ground strike on step 5 of Challenger's Proving Ground 7.
Yes, it will. This is a
Players will
little blue emblem on Nessus that says, go here to Nessus. And normally when you see a blue emblem, you go to the place where it says, and you pick up the flag and it takes you to wherever on the first day this dropped, I played it the night that this actually dropped, there were, I'd say, about 15 guardians running around like headless chickens,
Looking
trying
for the thing
look
that's not there.
where this flag should be. They were running up to the tank. They were coming back down. They were going through the Vex portal to the side. Nobody could figure it out. We were all just kind of standing there scratching our heads. And I thought, why don't I just launch the strike from the director and just going, because it's actually, well, not from the director, yeah, on the Nessus map on the top, in the middle of the top of the map. It's there, so you can play it, but it doesn't actually tell you to go there and do that. So yeah, that was a great bit of 5 minutes of fun trying to figure out that you don't have to go to the actual place. You go to the strike on the map.
Yeah, players will indeed need to launch the strike from the strike node to access the activity, not go on Nessus and run around like a crazy person.
And there is a cutscene at the end of the strike, so once it kind of gets to the end, don't just sit in your menu and then suddenly you go, oh, somebody's talking at me, and then come out and realise that there'd been a cutscene playing for at least 2 minutes before you'd realised. So yeah,
So-
there's a
so
cutscene
that-
at the
that's
end.
what you-
Somebody's salty.
I'm not
Henry-
salty. I was just like, because I was recording it for the podcast, and that would have been nice to have at some point. But it's kind of half a cutscene at this point because it's me in my menu, and then suddenly realizing I'm in my menu. I better come out and have this cutscene recorded.
Somebody's salty.
Bungie is going to continue to investigate reports of issues with Steam Chat.
What?
So apparently, there's issues with Steam Chat, and they are going to continue to look into those issues.
Oh, that's
Issues
why I've been
come
getting
from where they
messages
don't
from
have, so-
Respawn.
The 2020 games class items are no longer honoring placements from their previous games, which you've told us before. And the Ether Ritual public event may not record event participation, which is good because it's dumb and you shouldn't play it. That's what they broke. That's what they fixed. There's some sort of stasis melee hunters killing a raid boss. Beautiful video. There's some sort of cinematic that somebody worked very hard on. I'm sure that they want you to watch. There's actually a very cool. So, the Art of the Week Weapon and Guardian that Wang Ran has put together. You say, oh, it's just, it looks like a tweet, a little picture, and you're like, well, this is a weird picture. It's actually a whole website they've put together of these really cool illustrated guardians with different weapons and different poses that someone has illustrated a lot of these people. And so when you hit this link, it's worth scrolling down just to seeing the art.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
But before you do, at the very top of the page, there's a play button for the Deepstone Lullaby. So turn that on, turn your speakers up, enjoy the Deepstone Lullaby as you scroll this. It's really cool. It's a lot of cool illustration and just cool poses and with different guns. It's a lot of fun.
I wish you could is that Jinx? Hold up. Oh no. For a second, it looked like they turned a hunter into Jinx from a different video game, which was kind of funny. I wish you could filter by which class you want to see. They don't let you do that.
No, you just have to see all of them and be sad that other classes exist.
Yeah, I guess. Now there's one Titan with the big fur coat. That looks like a cool Titan there. Titan Pollux 1, that guy.
Mhm. So yeah, so that's our twab for the week.
Twab. Right, I'm not doing it again. Never mind.
You don't need to do it again.
Twab, 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 to twab. Twab, 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 to twab, twab, twab. Twab, 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 twab. Twabby, twab, 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 twab. Twabby, 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 twab, twabby, 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 twab, 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 twab. That's the twab.
Yeah, you don't do it again. You've done it once. And
Who
who
the
is
hell
it?
is that?
Do you see that from afar? From the mists, he emerges. It could be somebody who's definitely not Arf.
Hey guys.
It's half and half.
So it sounds like while Arf reads us lore, we should go lose another trials match.
Oh, we're gonna get lore? Is that a thing?
Yes, it's a thing. I am just bringing the lore up now.
So, what are you actually bringing us this week? Is it the Captain's Log? Is it what I've
It is
tried
the
to
Captain's
read?
Log.
Yay!
Yes.
Now, can you read that first word?
He probably can read the first.
I am so curious what that first word's going to be because I still don't know.
We never went back to read it. We died. That was it.
So it's time for Not Off Ask Lore then.
Yeah, there we go.
Entry 1. Charon's silhouette. This page is blighted with mold and the imprint of a memory. The words seep experience into your open mind. Through the eyes of Catabasis, a royal invitation got me as far as the inner reliquary. I enter the belly of the Leviathan unattended. My eyes catch on the runs in Callus's crestfallen banners. His inner halls don't gleam. Reminds me of the stories from the Golden Age. Polish the veneer and present them on a platter. But when you peel back the layers, it's just old. Past with prime far behind. Ahead, a legionary in Loyalist Guild nods to me and swings open a door. A manufactured version of Callus stands tall on the other side. It's his likeness mirrors the tribute hall's automaton and many other statuesque bots I'd spoken to him through. The statues of Callus winds to life. You're early, but I suppose your tribe's always ahead of the pack, Hunter. Should I have this room moved, that you may stroll the Leviathan's halls that much longer and appreciate my hospitality? I'm not sure what he wants to hear. She's an impressive beast. I've come to take the job. I turn it like an offer. Uncomfortable silence. Come see me, Catabasis. I have a gift for you. The statue points towards a domed chamber. Its curled walls support every kind of trophy, bones on hooks, taxidermy wrapped around terrifying eyes, and final moments. A clutch of counselors watches me as they take mechanical plates from 3 other identical statues of Callus surrounding them. They huddle about a towering cage of filigree alloys and woven circuitry, fitting the plate to it with a sacramental focus until the cage becomes a tomb around a pearlescent seat, supporting a lonesome figure within. What an auspicious early arrival. Come, witness my containment. Few have seen this, Callus wheezes from inside the cage, his voice like taut suffocation. Callus's withering form swells and jostles. My thoughts stink of disgust, and he can smell it. I am no more trapped here than you are by your light. You assume this flesh satisfies me. How small my automatons stand as monuments of my image, reflections of my breadth. They are as I am, one collective self as nothing is. I grip my teeth and look on, stepping sideways to see him from a different angle. His skin mottled with sickly translucence that grips my stomach. Your thoughts are as open as your fears, Catabasis. Come, look upon me, and let my counselors assuage them. Counselors lay more thick plates over Callus's living misery, brushing past me as they finish and exiting the room with my inhibitions. Mechanisms within the plates engage as plum light emits from the slits between them. Nacre runs smooth around the frame and into the throne-like cup of sullied nobility. Beneath the throne, hoses bubble viscous royal wine into the sealed frame. Callus looks through me, his eyes like clumped chalk, as the last counselor fastens a faceplate into position. Deep orbs illuminating the faceplate like wild eyes in the open pitch of night. We are alone. What do you know, Catabasis? I pick between the worlds. There are a lot of different kinds. And all of them are weakness. Callus's voice spills from the containment vessel and floods the room. Gods do not lie. Like me, they have neither the capacity nor the reason. True power cannot be threatened. It does not compel deception. And yet I have been betrayed by one I thought to be the final divinity. Sounds like you got swindled. I quickly blunt the question with respect. Emperor? When the darkness found me adrift in the cosmos, rejected by a people I had made, I thought to have found a confidant, no, an idol. They promised to return to me, to uplift me, that we may dance together among the stars and drink their dying ecstasy till the end, as one. But their chilling little fleet came and went. It was Lucius. And so many tasted so much, yet I am empty, nothing, trapped in this limbo of their lie. And gods don't lie, I proffered. Precisely, to be seen. Callus pauses to heap the drama. For what we really are, underneath the surface, is bliss. All 4 statues step forward to bear Callus's vessel. His voice resounds from all of them simultaneously. Come, cast a shadow in my halls and drink. Soon we will speak to the liar and separate it from the truth. Frenetic scrawl inked in the margin reads, Smuggler's switch is still working. Maintenance side hatch. Had to kick in the vent.
So that little bit at the end is the clue for where the hatches are for picking up the smugglers' chests.
Caches.
Yeah,
Yes.
throughout the Glycon. And there's one on each of them, isn't there, for each entry?
Yes, there is.
Oh yeah, and actually, the caches remind me I should give credit on the show to you and Nitedemon, because you said, hey, the Dead Man's Tale isn't that bad. You can run through it. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
And you're right. Two bubbling titans with their friend at Aztecross were able to get through it. Yeah, we two-manned it. It wasn't bad at all. It was just,
Did you
took
say
us about an hour. Yeah, our buddy Aztecross. We had him there to assist us step by step, telling us what was coming up next.
In
On
their
the platform.
He did his
No.
run in about
It was-
26 minutes. We did ours in about an hour. But
He was on a different
guided us
screen.
through. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he was on the laptop in front of me telling me what to expect.
And I bet you jumped every time a screen popped up in the tunnels and the vents.
Actually, no, because we had all the auto rifles, and they actually weren't like I heard everyone talk about it. They actually weren't too bad. Like it was a pain, but those were sort of the least of our problems. Jumping with big Titan feet is our bigger problem. But no, like it really wasn't bad. But yeah, so we got through and we got our Dead Man's Tales and found a bunch of the caches, and Pan screamed to the game going, I found the thing. Why can't I pick up the thing? Well, you have to do it more than once. He's like, nope, that's stupid. That's stupid. Which kind of feels the same way. Like if you stumble across these, why can't I just have them?
Yeah, you
Why do I have to go do this
you have-
again and again to get the
you
credit
have
for the
to
thing?
get all the scannables in one run,
Mhm.
and then you have to clear the mission first, and then go back in, get all the scannables, and then go back in again to get the chest, because you have to get the clue before you can get the chest.
Sounds like a terrible idea. Nope.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But on that third run, you can also get the scannables then for the next week.
I've
Yeah,
explained this to the guys. They don't listen. They just
Yeah.
don't want to play it over and over again.
First of all, I have done it over and over again.
Yeah. I'm
Sir.
just not going to do it more than once because I got the gun and it's fine. I'm not going to care about this gun. Just
You
like
need
I
to get the catalyst, dude. The catalyst makes it 100
Yeah,
million
yeah,
billion
that's
trillion
all
billion times better.
again, which if I've got time to play nothing in the week, I'm sure as heck not going to spend it doing the same mission for the fourth time.
Why not? You get a pinnacle every time.
Yeah, but I don't enjoy it. Like it was fine, but it's not something I
It is
look
a
forward to playing.
pinnacle weapon, bro.
So, did you want us to ask you questions about this lore,
You can if
or
you
did
like.
you want to explain this page to us?
Yeah, because I didn't pick up on hardly any of that. I heard it, I just didn't get it.
Is it that I think you said before that Callus is kind of this, just kind of gelatinous
He's crippled
blob
now, effectively.
that's sitting in a bed?
And he's effectively being kept alive in. I can't decide whether they're actually building like an automaton to actually keep him in, or it is like a life support that's placed in an automaton.
Okay.
Because it talks about them actually adding plates to it each time. So I'm thinking plates of armor, armor plating for the side. I'm not quite sure. And then they're talking about he's still getting his sacrificial wine effectively, actually pumped in by tubes now. So it doesn't sound like a bad imprisonment.
So, what is this sacrificial wine? Is it just normal wine, or is it like something else?
I think it's just the wine made from planets, basically. Because that's what
Okay.
Sorry.
what the
What?
I was just about to explain that. You know how the Leviathan was eating Nessus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, it takes everything that it sucks in through its giant mouth and converts it into anything they could possibly need, including food, wine, you name it.
What the absolute? What?
Just when you
No,
think
no, I get it. It's just
on
crazy,
game
dude.
playing, you don't.
Right? I mean, just like Callus is like, wow, that planet makes a really great Chardonnay. What?
Yeah, all the jokes have been done. Yes, you're drinking Vex milk and your buddy's body across there.
Delicious.
Yummy.
No, that's not the word I would use. Not even remotely. Hold on, let me check my Palm Pilot.
Tastes like chicken.
Carry the 1, multiplied by the circumference of the sun. Yeah, no, math spells it out right there. That's not what I would use to say that at all. Not even a little.
Entry 2. Lust and Reappropriation Part 1. This page is blighted with mold and the imprint of a memory. The words seep experience into your open mind through the eyes of Catabasis. Our disheveled thresher rattles through lean Nessian atmosphere. Callus's words ring in my ears over the storm rush of re-entry. The ship is yours to claim. Most of the seats in the top hold are empty. A scion officer named Quinzig sits across from me. Her eye hasn't left me since she boarded. To my right, a craggy Cabal Centurion, complete with demolition satchels and a projection rifle, adjusts the connectors on his pressure suit. He's been assigned to make sure none of the other Cabal try to kill me. Seems news of my command has rendered a number of the crew indignant. I prod first. I can't imagine hiding a ship from a Legion was easy on Nessus, to be honest. I'm surprised they haven't tried to storm Leviathan. They would die, grumbles the Centurions. Bad strategy. What does it matter? Callus saw fit to give you a ship, Catabasis. My ghost, Gilgamesh, glares at me. Quinzig sneers and leans forward. Her voice seethes from her helmet. The Legion is stirred by titles rousing human. I recognize the tinge of malice in her address and the fall of Torabottle. She sends heralds of her fleet. The ships come and go without stories recorded. We pass unnoticed for some time. The brute bows his head. First I'm hearing of it. You're saying they won't notice this ship taking off, I asked. For some time, Gilly quotes the scion. But normally they would. Because it's a Legion ship and you've set me up to commit thievery. All Cabal ships belong to Callus, the Centurion growls, and Quinzig does not answer to you. Right. My shoulders slump forward, head resting on my hands as the thresher touches down. We disembark onto a prickly, milk-rich soil. Turning away from the sun, the deep green sky slowly bleeds out. A congested Cabal shipyard glows in the distance against the crest of dark riding the horizon. You are Catabasis. The Cabal is speaking to me. He gestures to himself. Bar Torren. You're my skullcracker. My ghost. Name's Gilgamesh or Gilly. Bar Torren considers that for a moment and nods. I do that, but you will need to know my name if we find battle. I'm not looking to have a shootout with the entire base. I think the plan is more quiet. Reappropriation of goods, Bato. I do not like that. Gilly didn't take it first, but time wears you down. Gilly nods to Barto, who nods back with a grunt and begins walking. We follow him across the bluffs towards the yard, into flat land desolate with sunless gloom. The shipyard is massive, pulverized flat, of a rough tarmac and shanty barracks surrounded by a barrier fence. It overflows with craft ranging across eras of the Cabal Empire. On the far end of the strip, Gilly spots arc lights shining. A figure draped in an azure raiment stands above a throng of Cabal, drawing attention like thunder. Whatever he's saying, they believe it. Gilly catches a few words. It's the same talk you hear anywhere else. Someone's been forgotten. Blame looking for a hole to fester in. Wrestling at the edges with tepid hope, at risk of falling back down into the past. Frenetic scrawl, inked in the margin reads, Maintenance Hall, off the cargo bay door. Cozy spot, floor side.
So, who's Catabasis? Is this the name of the hunter that's working for
That is the name of
Callus?
the hunter.
Okay.
I think we first met him when I read the lore tab from Dead Man's Tale rifle.
Okay.
So, do we know who the dead hunter at the end of the strike is?
Catabasis.
Catabasis.
That is him. Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'd just like to point out it's a hunter.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Yeah. Turncoat. Hunter.
Entry 3, Lust and Reparation Part 2. This page is blighted with mold and the imprint of a memory. The words seep experience into your open mind. Through the eyes of Catabasis. Smaller ships flock like parasites around a centerpiece flagship. Quinzik points to it. A Cabal carrier-class warship. Glykon Valatus. She touches her finger to the yard's perimeter barrier and said, "Over," as if directing an animal. Quinzik flattens her palm against the ground and displaces the radiolarian saturation with a bubbling of void energy. It bursts and launches her and Bato over the barrier. I follow on the steps of my light, my Tex Mechanica rifle dangling from a loose strap. Bato settles last on uneasy jet bursts. Quinzik steps in front of him and calibrates a device on his chest plates before Bato turns to face me. "One of your transmats," he grumbles. "I will stop their signal receiver, so our ship is hidden until we remove its locational anchor." We separate into the silent yard, to our tasks. Quinzik and I weave through a field of parked interceptors, as Bato does his best to stay inconspicuous on his way to a gargantuan signal dish at the adjacent edge of the yard. The daunting bow of the Glykon Valatus looms obstructing the sky like a bloodied wave, rearing up to consume us. I duck behind the frontal landing gear while Quinzik opens a service chute to the command deck. I peek through an open hatch. Down the hall, a lone scion runs diagnostics on the bridge. I carefully crawl inside, and I slip the long rifle from my back. "Shoot it." Guns allowed, Gil. He wasn't totally off kilter. One thought of that scion could alert the whole yard. Ignorance. The word ripples through my brain in Quinzik's seething voice. "She will not." "I didn't invite you in here," I thought. The ripple spreads. "Yours is a mind unfocused and taxed. Chaos where reason should lie. We need this ship," Gilly whispers. He swings into my peripheral view. "If you don't do something, that scion is going to have every Cabal in the sector after us." Quinzik surfaces from the hatch and kneels beside us. "This is Yirik's ghost. She will not reveal us. She's Red Legion. Callus would have her executed." Scions fly many colors, but within the Cabal, we exist in Congress, moving towards our own future. "We will recognize my contribution as I hers," Quinzik says, stepping forward. Gilly watches Quinzik approach the other scion. "If this sours, don't give her the chance." His words cinch around my lungs. Short breaths of wary anticipation escape. I sight my long gun and wait. Yirik stiffens as she becomes aware of Quinzik. She turns. They bow their heads together. The two emphasize and come to one understanding in silence. Whatever ambition they have, go further than this ship, this moment, this Cabal. I hadn't thought that way since I last wore the veneer of a Guardian. Sold on a dream of an immortal city shielded by light, as if it could go on forever. Forever is just a hope. Folks don't live long enough to see it crumble. Giris looks to Gilly and me, to my rifle, unthreatened. I feel her request for temperance and tranquil reassurance of the rest of their cause. For a moment, I feel young. I stand. We warm the launch engines as Yirik slips away to join the throng and let us be. Atto materializes onto the bridge, out of a transmat and out of breath. He manages a few prideful words. "Charges set. We will not be tracked." The Glykon breaks atmosphere as a colossal explosion rocks the shipyard and shutters through our hull. Flames spit across the distant yard below, spreading into a bonfire of heirlooms. Bato called it the spark that burns the past to fuel the future. Better than the other way around. Frenetic scrawl, inked in the margin reads, "Door on the fritz, been that way since we dove. Stay away from this one."
So I was going to ask you, Balto and the other
Bato,
one,
yeah.
Bato and
Quinzik.
Quinzik, they are Cabal.
Yeah.
They're working as a fire team, which is quite interesting.
Quinzik is a scion, and Bato is a centurion.
Cool.
And he sounds like he's by his description in the readings there, he's actually quite a hardened and trusted centurion, and he likes his explosives as well. Entry 4, Well of Absence. This page is blighted with mold and the imprint of a memory. The word seeps experience into your open mind through the eyes of catabasis. Blood meets the slurry of oil and dark ether, draining into the runoff vents of the cabin floor. I sit. A savage din echoes through the harvester craft. I can hear them in the war beast pens below deck, gnashing teeth, maddeningly chewing through restraints. The wet slaps of their bodies battering the walls. Bato boards the harvester under a hail of tiny stones. This hold is secured, and the casualties collected. He shuts the bay to the reef storm behind him. How many? I ask, noticing the two of us alone. He mistakes concern for weakness. We will be ready for tomorrow's harvest. I shift the question. How many more of these things does Quinzig want? 2 days of harvest before leaving the shore. She tell you what for? No more than you. Following blind orders, that's something that sits well with you? Quinzig does not answer to you, Lightbearer. So I've heard, more than once. My father spoke like you, questioned, Bato grumbled, laying down his gear. He abandoned Callus to join Gaul's coup. Disgraced our bloodline. I threw off my father's shackles and pledged my life to the Emperor. I was shown mercy. Soon I will reclaim the clout of my line and the right to sire. Loyalty is not blindness. Loyalty is rewarded. Sounds like he turned away from a losing battle to one he thought he could win. He left when hope seemed small, before he could see victory through. Bato pauses, pensive. Callus will expose the secrets of the darkness and use them to reclaim Tarabattle. It will be. Quinzig blocks the entrance into her lab. It had been hastily transferred from the Leviathan to Glykon after our procurement of the ship. All manner of vicious-looking machinery. She raises a finger to my face. Her language restructured in my mind. You do not belong here. I need to know exactly what you're using them for. Why? They are animals, our beasts of burden. I ponder their ethics. They used to be something else, a dead-ended part, buried and ignored, but such concern for a hunter. She meant to pin me to Cade. Ain't any different from defiling a corpse. You people honor your dead, don't you? I do not answer to you. Quinzig seethes in my mind. She brushes me away and moves to shut the door. Bato does. His shoulders do. Do you want me to politely ask the scorn into confinement, or do you want to be straight with me? She scowls at me. Where is your ghost? Hangar maintenance. Come, Quinzig says, leading me inside the lab to a bundle of large vats adorned with all manner of pumps and wiring. This, she slides of a viewing port, opened in the frontmost vat. Rabid scorn eyes lock with mine through the viewport. Dark fluid roils as the creature flails and fumes, muted shrieks into the liquid. Natural connection to the darkness made stronger, their minds linked like ours, but without barons there is nothing to fill them. I watch it claw frantically against the vat wall until I hear the grating tone of bone-raw fingertips digging into the metal. A touch more violent than I'd expected from a mindless thing I say. They subsist off the last thought imposed on them. Kill for Fickrell, for the lost prince. But Quinzig presses her hand into the tank. She fixates her eye on the scorn and it mellows. Her words are strained. With effort, their psyche is a vessel through which many expressions can commune. She releases the scorn, exhausted, and it drowns again, eyes shrieking in terror. Too many for one to inhabit. How does this help us? Callus will draw the darkness into them, and we will squeeze from them all they know. How? I insist. When we arrive at the anomaly, you will see. Frenetic scrawl inked into the margin reads, fungus choked off the turbine maintenance deck. If you find a way in, throw the switch. So as we can see there, it's pretty clear. They're trying to somehow use Scorn or several Scorn minds to allow the darkness to communicate through the Scorn, as they have a stronger connection to it.
So who's holding them? Is this the Cabal or is this somebody else?
The Cabal.
Okay.
The Cabal, Quinzig, Barto, and Catabasis have all gone down to Nessus. Not Nessus, sorry. That was before. They've gone down to the Tangled Shore. And they've basically harvested Scorn.
Right.
So they've brought them back onto the Glycon. And now they're experimenting on them and trying to actually get the darkness to inhabit the Scorn, so they can then read the Scorn's empty mind and communicate with the darkness.
Well, cool. Thank you very much for that, Arth. That was much appreciated, because I know there had been a lot of people, including Respawn, that had missed you over the last couple of weeks, and they thought that you'd kind of gone AWOL, but you haven't. You've just been busy.
No, not
with
AWOL.
family stuff.
He's a traitor that went to some other podcast a few weeks and thinks he got
No,
famous and then they go to his head.
He guests on lots of podcasts that, you know,
Uh-huh.
they love him for his lore.
Mostly us.
Yeah.
We just get to keep him exclusive. So, what is next? What is next?
I think I'm gonna get off.
Why are you getting off?
What do you mean? Podcast is over. He's done the lore.
You haven't done the one part that you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Respawn reports.
Destiny News Plus
Plus.
has said new. This image was shared in the RS subreddit, which features more than 3 players in the new Proving Ground strike, hinting at a new 12-man raid / strike glitch.
Called it. We just don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah, so like I've been saying, still a thing.
Jeez! Why haven't you posted a video?
Because
Anyway.
Cheats doesn't like you. He only likes me.
Immediately tell everybody.
Destiny News says, but according to their PGCR on Bungie.net, it looks like 25 players were able to join the strike and 18 of them actually finished it. What the what? What?
That's the post-game cardage report, the PCGR. So yeah, not fixed yet.
Wow. Okay, so it's probably the tower glitch where it loads you into a strike. We'll update as soon as we get more details from the OP. 25 people joined. Jesus.
Oh, mate, if we can get 25 of us together, that's going to be amazing.
Again, from Destiny News, Trials of Osiris has reached a new ATH player record as 405,700 players this past weekend, making it the highest population in the activity scene since Destiny 2. Probably because we're trying to figure out how to break it again.
Oh, because you could get a 2-tap hand cannon. That's the entire.
Yeah.
Loot is desirable enough. People will play the game. They won't come back.
While we're talking about the Igneous Hammer, have you guys come up against this in Crucible at the moment and found it a little bit OP? Just a tad.
No, I don't.
Just curious.
They took the super overpowered 2-tap hand cannons out of the game. They sunset that. It's fine. Just to give us a new 2-tap hand cannon that you can go just not even have to really do anything for. Spend 90 minutes of your life to get again. So don't worry, guys. They fixed it. Everything's fine. Next week, they're going to launch an SMG, the Void, that's going to be super overpowered. But don't worry. They sunset the old one, so it's fixed. Everything's good.
Is that a thing? Is that a real thing that you just said?
No, I honestly do think that this hand cannon needs a slight toning down. I'm not going to say nerf. I'm going to say toning down.
No.
What?
Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like Iron, again, Trials I expected, but even just Iron Banner, I played 11 matches of Iron Banner, and it was just nothing but Igneous Hammers. At least it's better in 6s because there's so many people, you stand a chance. But otherwise, it's like if they see you, it's like the sniper rifles without the red glint to know you're about to die. It's just if you're in a lane anywhere, or they can see you from a map, you're dead. The end. The range is infinite. The headshots are perfect, and there is no flinch.
Yeah. And I've found even if you are using something at range, if you're using a scout rifle, if you're using a sniper rifle, even a Jotun at a very, very long range, they can still 2-tap you quicker than the Jotun can kind of, well, it still kills them, but they've still killed you quicker. It's just the kill time on those things. And I thought it was just me, so I kind of checked out people that were killing me with the Igneous Hammer, and they've got like the rampage ones, which are quite cool. I can understand why it's two tapping me. It's not like I don't understand why it is two tapping me. What I don't understand is the ranges that weapon is allowed to get up to. It's a hand cannon. Surely there should be it should be in line with other hand cannons of the same archetype, and not just make it the stupidest god roll
Dude,
possible.
that's just it. Almost all hand cannons have that range. Like, okay, as an example, right? Let's see what we have here. I have a bottom dollar, right, with rangefinder and demolitionist. I can pop you from literally halfway across the map.
What's what's the range on? Like, give us a number, like, just so we know what.
Well, the range is irrelevant, right? The default range. No, I'm saying it's
The
relevant
numbers
because
don't
I have
matter. Roll for the
rangefinder. No, because I have rangefinder, so it maxes out the range anyway, right? But before rangefinder, I have a range of 73, and then rangefinder maxes it out. Same thing with my steady hand. I have a range of 64. I'm still mapping people with this damn thing, dude.
Okay, then all 120s need to be taken down slightly so that the
Yeah!
Igneous Hammer isn't as prevalent. And I had my chance to go and get it last week, and I looked at the rolls and I thought, there aren't anything that I actually like to use compared to my True Prophecy. So I'm not going to kind of bash my head, not like I am this week with the Messenger. I enjoy the Messenger pulse rifles, which is why I'm, wanting to try and do it.
Right.
And it's not like everybody got a chance to get one of these Igneous Hammers, because if you weren't able to play last weekend, you didn't get a chance to do it. If you couldn't lock up with people, even if you were just doing what we're doing this week with getting the bounty fulfilled and getting the engram, I feel that the Igneous Hammer, it's a little bit too strong. There's not like you can get the bottom dollar from Gambit, but it's not as good as.
I haven't even seen the bottom, like the bottom dollar. Maybe people were farming that beforehand, but I don't think I've even gotten seen it on my kill feed at all. It's Igneous Hammers all the way down.
Yeah,
And
well,
for-
there's a lot of
after that
Igneous
weekend, but
Hammers.
before Igneous Hammers, though, there was a lot of bottom dollars, True Prophecies, and
Steady hands.
that one. Yep.
Okay, yeah, because I remember that being the big talk. I've not seen it, but of course, it's the week after everyone got their 2-tap hand cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels a lot like the Not Forgotten Luna's Howl meta, where you're just going to get outplayed, outmapped, and outshot by everyone every time. So it's like, and why do we bother?
I don't know about that, because at least I had a Luna's Howl. Destiny News says these two images were data mined yesterday from Destiny 1 files. Looks like the Traveler has gone dark. Either his light has been removed or he's about to detonate. We'll see.
So describe the image, because you've got the image in front of you.
That's what I said. It looks like he's gone dark or he's about to detonate. He's not bright like he usually is. He looks like the moon, kind of. Dark on one side, kind of less dark on the other.
So
Parts of
are you sure it's
light,
not the
like,
moon?
detonate. No, I'm not sure it's not the moon, actually.
You're giving people false information.
Probably, but it looks like the moon and the Traveler. I don't know which one it is. It's not false information. I can't tell.
Good reporting there.
Yeah.
Keep up the
I
good
mean,
work.
what do you want from me? They don't tell you what it is. It just says, here's two images. Well, it looks
Right,
like
I've
the
just
moon.
had a quick look at the. I've just
It
had a
also
quick
looks
look
like
at the
the
hangar,
Traveler.
and it's. I can't really tell, so I'm just going to run up top and have a
See?
look now.
I would say it's the moon, because it looks like it's got the scrapes of the moon on that image.
You
Well, the moon
say
is
what
just to the left of the Traveler anyway.
Anyway, Destiny News Plus, and if we rotate that icon, it's
sorry,
the
I'm
icon
lying,
that they
that's
showed
not
us
the
next to
HUD.
the Witch Queen logo, which has been officially released by Bungie. There you go. So you take the emblem, you flip it upside down, and it's the Witch Queen logo.
So these are items that have been data mined.
Yep. And that's it, as far as I can tell. That's all that you've given me.
That is all that I've given you this week.
To be fair, looking at the Traveler at the minute, it does look darker than it used to. But then if you look at Zavala's face, that looks darker as well. So it could just be a contrast on his screen.
I'm going to need you to turn the brightness of your screen up, sir, and I think that will fix the problem.
You could start by turning on your screen.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's the Traveller. I think it's the moon. Zavala's upset now that he's kind of half turned sideways looking at me. He's like, "What are you doing standing there? Don't stand near me, you hunter." I've got a few tips, tricks, guides, and builds this week, and one YouTuber that I'd like to highlight this week that I found is Ironwork Gaming. Now, they did a really good in-depth review on the Verity's Brow, the exotic helmet for the Warlocks, going over what it does, what its uses are, and what pairings through all the subclasses, and why you might want to use it in PvE and PvP. Now, looking at their channel, they do a lot of these kind of reviews, especially for Warlocks anyway, on what your exotic armor pieces do, what exotic weapons do, and basically kind of give new light players something that the existing players already know to kind of go and explore and play with. So I thought I'd kind of give them a shout out and link them in the show notes, but I'll also link the Verity's Brow. Crazy Mr. Pips has highlighted the sidearm, the Lonesome, which was from a long time ago, but it's still kind of viable now. It's a 1260 RPM sidearm, and he pairs it on his Hunter with his Le Monarque. And I thought, well, I've got this kind of build, I will give it a go. I've got a kind of similar role to him, bit of stability, well, quite a bit of stability and a bit of range on it. I couldn't use it as well as he was, but he puts a good case for it. So there may be other people out there that might want to kind of pair this with their Le Monarques or other bows, or just use it as another kind of sidearm. So this is one I think you can get from the Prismatic Recaster as, I think, Season of Arrivals weaponry. So it might be one you kind of look out for. Destiny Fun Police has put out a video to help all of us that are struggling to counter those 120 hand cannons. This is the Vigilance Wing. So this is, if anybody that doesn't know, is the exotic pulse rifle that you can get. I'm not sure whether you can get it from engrams or not, but it's an exotic pulse rifle, and
Go by
it's
Thursday and grab if nothing else each week, and eventually you'll get one.
that's a possibility. But yeah, this pulse rifle, it's a 5-burst pulse rifle, and it's the only one of its archetype. It's kind of Trials themed. It's got kind of wings and gold on plating on it, if you don't know what it looks like. But it's one of the kind of only pulse rifles that helps stagger. So it does kind of help you kind of counter these 120s. And Destiny Fun Police, in his video, puts again a really good argument for why maybe you should be using this over just trying to play with other 120 hand cannons if you don't really like 120 hand cannons. So I just thought I'd kind of point you in that direction just to make that case. And I think that's it this week. Apart from the videos that I put in already from Fallout Plays going over the stasis fixed ? And the cool guy going over why you want to have the focusing lens if you're using the light subclasses, then yeah, that's it from me this week. Peroty, you had something else that you wanted to kind of go over, didn't you? There was an email that we got.
Lie.
I did. We did get an email. It's, and again, doesn't require any conversation because it's sort of what we've been talking about and now playing all week. Subject is Trials of Getting My Butt Kicked from our buddy Colin Stanton, who was one of the few, the brave, who stepped foot into Trials last week to get his Igneous Hammer because he too wanted to be a cool 120 hand cannon guy. He writes, over the weekend, I got tempted to play Trials to receive the shiny new hand cannon that I will probably never use since I'm terrible with them. I feel you, buddy. I feel you. Needless to say, the experience didn't go well. With the fire team I went in with, we didn't win a single game. In fact, we lost 5-0 several times. What surprises me is how many losses we had where it was the other team's 7th victory. I generally can hold my own inside the Crucible. I mainly play Survival and play several matches a day, but this weekend, nothing worked. Sweaty team after sweaty team. The worst was going 9 overall rounds in a row without our team getting a single kill. I even stooped so low as to equip stasis and several no-skill weapons like Jotun just to try to get any advantage. I understand that Trials is the pinnacle PvP gameplay, but after being stomped so bad as I was, There is almost no chance I will play again. Hats off to Bungie for allowing one of the most sought after weapons as a reward just for playing the game mode, but never again will I go through that much frustration for anything inside of Destiny. Colin Stanton.
Well, Colin, I've got a few, you've got a couple of problems with that because next week's challenge, got to get 7 wins. Or
Which would
round
be nice
wins.
if
7
it were
round wins.
retroactive.
Yes.
But because it's the new thing, they'll probably be like, no, this is new. You have to go get stomped again this week, and just put a rubber band on your controller, set the controller down.
No, you can't do the rubber band. You have to have round wins. You have to have a respawn with you, raging out fully, and go, completely Titan on them.
I got really excited when I got my first throwing knife kill, though.
He did. That's true. Well, I think that's it. So,
is that it? Arf, is that it from you?
That's it from me.
Arf says that's enough from him.
Literal crickets.
Sounds like it. He didn't know that word either. So, thank you for joining us. Your Titans, who know some of the words, are Peroty and Nitedemon. Your Hunter, who knows many words as no one responds in real life.
What's up?
Your Lore Scribe, who's back with us this week, who knows all of the words, is not Arf. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. Find the show on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Same place, 2titans100. You know what to do. You can find all your favorite Guardians on Xbox Live, Getting Murdered in Trials, and Respawn on PC. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold. And hey, if you're following us on YouTube, I'm not saying there will be something worth watching, but there's always something worth listening to. So, gents, say goodbye.
Deuces.
Good night.
And good night from him as well.
Are you going to make it past the first word? And know what the rest of the word?
I laughed so hard. I knew it was coming. But to hear it, that was hilarious, dude. Did you listen to it, Arf?
Yes, I did hear that actually.
Very first word on the first lore he's ever read, and he doesn't know the word. I died so bad listening to that
Comedy
again.
gold.
All right, here we go. Charon's silhouette. Got it. Boom.
That's it, Sharon.
Entry 1. Charon's silhouette. This page is blighted with mold and the imprint of a memory. The words seep experience into your open mind. Through the eyes of Catabasis. A royal invitation got me as far as the inner
Reliquary.
See?
Reliquary. Yes. A royal invitation got me as far as the inner A royal invitation got me as far as the inner reliquary. I
You're
enter the
adding
belly of the
extra letters.
Leviathan.
Just
Rel-
leave him. Leave him. It sounds
Reliquary.
fine. Leave him alone.
I brushed over it.
Yeah.
Right,
A royal
read your
invitation
belly.
got me as far as the inner reliquary.
Oh my god. Just move on.
On the far end of the strip, Gilly spots an arc-like shine like.
Totally.
Ladies and gentlemen, Respawn.